77 WABC. The world is a brighter place with the Yola Nash Show. Listen why the world's biggest stars love talking to Yola Nash on WABC Radio, The Yola Nash Show.
77 WABC Radio New York. Welcome to the Yola Nash Show. I'm your host, Yola Nash, and I'm super excited to introduce my fantastic guest. She's a brilliant poet, writer, artist, and poetry short film director, and she's joining me now on the Yola Nash Show. Please welcome the amazing and beautiful Fela Cederbaum. Bravo!
Hello.
I'm so thrilled to have you on the show. You've been frequently featured on the show as Fela, aka Mano Dano, and I know many of my listeners totally love you. They send me messages all the time and they appreciate the Poetry Corner. And I was checking your social media and YouTube channel, and I was blown away when I saw the huge following around the world that you have. And I'm just wondering, have you ever dreamed you'd be writing poetry, writing books, directing poetry experimental films, and all that stuff?
Not really. I always used to say I'm like an artist without an art. And I was painting and I was doing all kinds of things. But I never imagined I would end up making short films, producing them, directing them. It didn't occur to me. I couldn't even dream that up.
Wow. Life is beautiful that way, right?
Life is wonderful.
And, you know, I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about your creative process, because every artist, every poet, every writer is a little bit different. And I've heard that it all happened suddenly. The videos, the poems, the books. Is that true?
Well, it happened suddenly, rather spontaneously. It happened not all at once, but whenever one of the processes started, it was, whoa, this is interesting. Where does this come from? And then I just followed it.
Wow.
And so it had its own rhythm and its own calling, and it was always exciting, and I couldn't really plan it out. And every time I looked at a finished product, I was amazed myself. It was every time a journey of discovery. The first one probably was in a painting, and then I wrote a book. And that too, I always wanted to write a book, and I was overwhelmed by the sheer volume of thinking you're writing a book. And then I just wrote one story at a time, and suddenly there was a book, and everything seemed so suddenly there's something when there was nothing before. But it's rather mysterious, I think, that how this happens.
Wow, that's so beautiful.
You have to be willing to just be open to what needs to unfold, and not expect it to be according to your wishes or desires or demands. You have to allow it to be what it wants to be.
And what inspires you the most?
There's a principle that inspires me, and that's truth. You have to find the truth and speak it, and just be open, whatever the consequences are. And the same goes for the creative process and for I think anything in life. When you're true to what needs to unfold, then it can be beautiful and sometimes daunting and sometimes terrifying. But that is, I think, also what appeals to people, because then they can go to their own truth.
Do you think, talking about poetry and writings, do you think poetry as a creative art form is important?
I think that anything that is truthful and has some kind of mysterious ingredient of, maybe it is some talent, or maybe, again, it's truth. It's always the principle is truth. And so poetry, when it comes from the heart, is a very important art form, I believe.
And you know, Fela, what I love about you is that you don't follow any rules, any forms, any typical genres. You just like always between, just challenging these genres. And this is the most, I think, exciting part of you. And many times they don't know how to categorize your art. And we'll talk about it a little more. But this is what I absolutely love about you, that you're so courageous and you're taking these risks and you go for it with your passion.
It makes me happy, because it's wonderful to hear that, because I wouldn't know how to do it differently, and that's the good part and the bad part, because I really don't fit anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But then, what am I going to subjugate the truth to some kind of straitjacket, and then it dies. Something dies when you do it for the end result, for the outcome. It has to have its own way, and then what happens is you don't fit anywhere. But that's okay. I don't do it in order to fit. I don't do it in order to please. I don't do it in order to raise objections. I just do it because that's what needs to happen.
And you are creating your own path, your own genre.
Yeah, well, I guess so. That is a genre. I'll take it.
So this interview is going to be like very memorable, From now on, there's a new genre.
The new genre, okay. I'll take it.
Oh, that's fantastic. And in your video poems, you created two characters that are portraying your poems. One is called Mano Dano and the other one Mani Dani. And they are asking questions, looking for truth, making us stop and reflect. And I was wondering, do they ever find out what's the most important in our existence? What's the truth really? Why we are here?
Well, I would say they always find it, every single poem, I think. And but the search has to continue, because that's the part of human existence. You don't find one truth and hold on to it.
Yeah.
And I heard a wonderful quote once by a beautiful teacher, Adyashanti, and he said, the truth is always in the moment. And so you can't hang on to it and then adorn yourself with it or hang it on the wall and say, that's the truth. You always look for the answers, and it always has to lead you to the same place. Go to one place, so which is the divine spark in each one of us, and that really solidifies that trust in you, that everything is in its right place, even though at times it doesn't look like that at all.
And you know what I love and admire so much, and that part also touches my soul and my heart very deeply, is that many of your poems, your writings, are kind of entangled with love, or they lead us towards love, or they show us where love is, or they kind of push us to discover something about love. And I absolutely love it.
You love love.
Yes, I love love.
You cannot imagine how sweet that is for me to hear that, because you asked before about reaching large audiences. Well, it's beautiful to me that something that came out of me, and that it touches that place in other people, and it moves them, and it's just very sweet. And in my experience, love is truth.
Yes.
Do you know what truth is? I don't. I thought I knew. And then it turned on its head. And I danced on my ear. Do you know what truth is? I don't. I was looking for it, and then it wandered away. It wandered into the distance, and I swung on my eye. Do you know what truth is? I don't. I recognize it, but I don't know what it is. I thought I did, but then it turned inside out, and I hopped on my hair. Have you ever danced on your ear when truth was there, and then it was not? Have you swung on your eye when you touched truth and your hand reached through a cloud? Have you hopped on your hair when truth was black and then it was white? How is it that truth is nowhere to be found? I mean, nowhere to be found. But then it permeates all. Permeates your most desperate heart and your darkest night. How is it that truth is invisible when you crane your neck for a whiff of its fragrance, just when you fade into its dream. Do you know what truth is?
Wow, so beautiful. And you know, like I've mentioned on the very beginning, you are multi-talented and incredibly creative, and you don't fit into any strictly defined category with your art, including your poetry short films that you direct and produce. But thank God the film festivals always find a way to feature your art. And I have to emphasize an upcoming festival here in New York, the prestigious New York City Independent Film Festival, that is showcasing the best independent productions from New York City, New York, and around the world. And this year, for the third time, features you. And congratulations, this is so fantastic. And they're going to feature your impressive works. And please tell us a little bit about the works that you're going to showcase this year.
Can I show off? It's the fourth time, actually.
Oh, the fourth time. Oh, my goodness. That's fantastic.
Sorry, but I have to show off.
Absolutely. Please do.
And I have to thank my amazing videographer who helped me bring Mano Dano and Mani Dani to life. Without him, I couldn't have done those films. So this year, I have Steal Time and A Test and Racing to Enlightenment.
And the festival goes on from May 5th to May 12th, am I right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So if people go to the website New York City Independent Film Festival, they're going to see you and they will find out all the details. So I'm encouraging everybody, don't miss out. It's one of the most interesting and really beautiful and prestigious independent film festivals we can attend and enjoy. And Fela Cederbaum is there and I'm going to be there. So
yeah, it's wonderful. And you meet other people in their creative process. And all my 3 films show on the same date this time. So it's May 11th at, I think it's 6 or 5, which is a Saturday.
Perfect. And Fela, I want to also tell everybody another fantastic news, that your new book entitled Of Life and Other Such Matters, Volume 2, is out and is available right now on Amazon.com. It's so hot, and we're sending everybody to Amazon.com, find Fela Cederbaum's Volume 2 of Life and Other Such Matters. And congratulations. We are so excited to get this book in our hands. So
thank you.
And that book is like a continuation.
Yes, it's one. I wrote over 3-4 years. Those were most of the poems, about 100, over 100 actually.
Wow!
And so this is number 2, and there are 2 more that I have to put together. And they all came out in the same period of time.
So amazing.
So I'm following myself. I'm catching up with myself, and I've only done about 20 of the films. So
wow.
There are more to come.
We can't wait to see all of them. And to those who are tuning in right now, I'm Yola Nash, and you're listening to the Yola Nash Show, and I'm talking to Fela Cederbaum, the incredible poet, writer, artist, and film director. And to all of my great listeners, I again invite you to go to Fela's website, manodano.com, and that's MAHNODAHNO, manodano.com, and experience Fela's incredible, magical, and unique work. And Fela, before we say goodbye, I want you to give us your social media handles, please.
Oh, you just did manodano.com and then Facebook
on Facebook
/Manodano.
Okay, Manodano on Facebook as well. Fantastic.
And on YouTube, And
on YouTube,
go
of
to
course.
the website. The website is always better.
Also, I just want to emphasize that all the things that you have written so far to me, and I know to many of my listeners because they write to me, which is beautiful, and I am so thankful for that. We all say you are a master of your craft. You are painting magically with the words of wisdom, understanding, love, harmony. It's just simply brilliant.
It's a great honor. Thank you so much.
Fela Cederbaum, everybody, thank you so much. We love you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
This is 77 WABC, The Yola Nash Show.